During the first day of the trial of Margaret Turson, accused of passing secret information to an alleged foreign agent, the court contained some heated moments when the defense, led by James Elliott, QC, opposed prosecution's application to the judge to have the court cleared while certain evidence was heard. The moment arrived as the defense was cross-examining Mr. Barclay, a Foreign Office official who had classified as secret the documents Miss Turson is supposed to have allowed a friend, Hans Müller from East Germany, to see. Elliott dropped a bombshell in court when he produced a photostat of a newspaper article which he claims to contain all the information in the secret document. He has asked for a comparison to be made in public hearing, which will of course mean that the secret papers will be read out. Prosecution, led by Jonathan Fry, QC, has asked for this to take place in private, behind closed doors. The court adjourned for the evening. Mr. Justice Waddington said he would decide this morning when the case continues.
The question arose before we adjourned yesterday about hearing certain evidence in camera because of its classified nature. I recall that a decision in the House of Lords in 1913 allows evidence in court to be taken in private depending upon the confidentiality of that evidence. However, I intensely dislike barring the press and public from my court, and after much consideration I do not intend to do so today if it can possibly be avoided.
May I please, Your Lordship?
Yes, Mr. Fry.
The defendant is charged with endangering the safety of a document entrusted to her in confidence. In my submission, it is quite wrong of the defence to seek to inquire into the contents of the document. It was marked secret and was therefore entrusted to her in confidence.
Do you agree that this is irrelevant, Mr. Elliott?
Respect, my Lord, it's most relevant.
Lord, it doesn't matter if the Foreign Office chooses to stamp a national news bulletin secret. Miss Turson must have been aware that it was a classified document. It was therefore given to her in confidence.
My Lord, the defence in this case states that Hans Müller did not look at these documents nor had any interest in seeing these documents while they were, admittedly wrongfully, in Miss Turson's flat.
Wrongfully? And that, my Lord, is the basis of this whole
With
case.
respect, my Lord, it is not. Now, if Miss Turson had copies of news bulletins, she would not be in her flat when the police raided. She would not be in this courtroom today.
If it was, I repeat, marked secret, she would be.
Well, all the more reason, my Lord, to question the authorities in marking it secret. And they cannot claim infallibility of the papal kind if, say, they made a mistake, used the wrong stamp, and thus caused an innocent person to be charged with the most serious offence. Surely this court has a duty to probe such a mistake.
We do not maintain a mistake was made in this case.
Mr. Fry. Mr. Elliott. The matter is clear enough to me, members of the jury. In case you find yourselves confused by this quarrel between counsel, I will restate for you the law which concerns us. Miss Turson is accused of conducting herself in such a way as to endanger secret documents entrusted to her care. The police have stated that the documents and Herr Müller were both found in her flat at the same time, and the documents were in an open drawer. The prosecution has alleged that Miss Turson had shown or intended to show the documents to Müller, and they say that by removing these documents from the office safe and taking them home in this way, she endangered their safety. The validity of the secret classification is a different question entirely. Let's have Mr. Barclay back in the witness box. Oh, clearly the court will have to hear this evidence in camera. Will you clear the court, please? You are still on oath.
The court is clear, my lord.
Thank you.
Mr. Barclay, yesterday you told this court that you were responsible for marking these papers secret.
Yes.
I now ask you to look at a copy of the newspaper article from Le Monde, please. Did you have an opportunity to study this article during the adjournment?
Yes, I did.
Does it resemble the classified material?
Yes.
In fact, all the information contained in the documents found in Miss Turson's flat is set out in this article, is it not?
Yes, that's true.
And you agree it predates your secret report?
Yes, by a week or more.
Doesn't the existence of such an article invalidate the secret grading of the Foreign Office dispatch?
Not at all.
Why not?
When a paper is classified within the Foreign Office, it is to denote to those people employed within the office that they must not disclose its contents. Perhaps the content of the paper is available elsewhere. That is irrelevant. An employee agrees by signing the Official Secrets Act not to pass on or intend to pass on or to endanger the safety of that particular paper which is marked secret or confidential.
Mr. Barclay, do you doodle?
I don't understand.
What do you doodle? I suppose one morning at work there was a newspaper lying on your desk. In your hand was a rubber stamp with the word secret on its pad. In an idle, absent-minded moment, you bring down the pad on the paper. Later on that day, you take the newspaper home with you and you throw it away. Would you be committing an offence under the Official Secrets Act?
Well, no. I mean...
Precisely. Thank you, Mr. Barclay. No further questions.
Mr. Barclay, I hope you have enjoyed as much as I have the feast of red herrings provided by my learned and witty friend. Nevertheless, we have now established that the documents we maintain Miss Turson showed or intended to show to Hans Müller were validly marked secret. Was she bound by the Official Secrets Act not to do so?
Yes, she was.
Thank you, Mr. Barclay. Unless your lordship has any further questions?
Mr. Barclay, I am impressed by your summary of the state of affairs when you use a classified mark to signify that certain documents must be kept secure and restricted by the employees of the service. And I think we have heard enough about the possible fallibility of the marking of such material. Thank you, Mr. Barclay. You may leave the witness box. Now, let us proceed from there.
That, my lord, is the case for the prosecution.
Very well. Let the public be readmitted.
I wish to call the defendant, Miss Margaret Turson, please.